Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Hijab Akbar Kwali and I am a student of Rehan School, Kurungi campus, and I am studying in the Future Navigator class. So today we have the very honorable and grateful guest whose name is Sir Kurt. So let's go and about himself and about him life journey. So hello sir, Assalamu alaikum. How
Walaikum
are
assalam.
you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. I appreciate the time that we get to spend together. And one of the things that I love doing is asking, what is your vision for peace?
My vision, basically, my personal goal is I aim to use Upwork to teach and uplift people all over Pakistan by sharing knowledge and skills. So that's my goal.
Uh-huh. And what kind of knowledge and skills do you want to give to people?
My skills,
What kind of knowledge and skills do you want to give to people? Because it seems to be your goal is helping other people. How do you how are you going to do that?
my skill is in graphic designing and video editing.
Excellent. So you can create a video on your vision of peace.
Yes.
Okay, that would be beautiful because I challenge people to do that because most people they want to have peace, but they don't even have their vision for peace written down. And if you don't have a vision for peace written down, how can you reach it?
Um, you ask me question and I ask you question.
Okay,
Can I ask you questions?
yes, you can.
Okay. So, before moving on the question, I want to please introduce yourself from my viewers.
Well, I'm Kurt Krueger, and I'm living in Southern California, right near Los Angeles. And I've been an educator on 5 continents. I've done it since 1969, and I've taught from 11-year-olds, actually younger, but to 80-year-olds. uh, at universities, and I've even given a program at the Oxford Medical School and at the United Nations.
That's really great answer. So my next question from you. What does beyond the beyond mean to you?
What does what?
My question is your screen.
I still didn't get that. Beyond your beyond, that is basically everybody has a concept of what they can and cannot do. And we have an ebook. It's called Making Miracles because when we open up to Allah's grace and power, He can work miracles through us. Um, there's many, many examples in my life and in people's lives that I know. And you yourself have probably heard of a woman seeing her child pinned underneath a car after an accident, and she picks up the car and pulls the child from underneath it. How can a woman do that? They can. Scientists will say, oh, it's adrenaline. It's not adrenaline. The body physiologically cannot support that weight. Yet the only photograph in my book, there's 4 books called Winning Ways for Living. It's a series of books. And the first one and the fourth one got to be on the bestseller list. In the book, there's only one picture other than the author, It's a picture of a man lifting over 7,000 pounds off his standard. How can you do that? It can be done. Most people would not even try, just like many women would not try to pick up a car and pull their child from it. They'll scream, they'll run around, whatever. But we have more power in us than we think.
Okay, sir, thank you for your answer. Sir, my personally my personally vision statement of peace goal. I separate the peace every people and each other for with the help of AI. I separate the peace and everybody. I will give peace that you live in the peace and you don't fight another. So that's it.
I didn't quite get your question.
My English is not correct. So
Well, one thing I'd suggest if you have this difficulty with English is type it in the question below the screen, and that way the English speaker can easily discern it and figure it out. Uh, when I'm on a call in Pakistan, I know it is your second or maybe third or fourth language,
yes.
whereas if it is, that's why I speak slowly, so you can more easily understand my English. Plus, I have an American accent, not a British accent.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
uh,
So, sir, my next question from you: how do you perceive the play of Confucian
consciousness. Uh,
conscious?
it everybody sees the world as they see it. So this is really a play. We're seeing each other right now, but we have a different view. We have a different, what you might call, perspective. We are looking through a kaleidoscope and we see different things. So the play of consciousness is figuring out how to really communicate with everybody at the soul level, at the heart level. And that is the most important level to connect with.
That's great, and thank you for your answer. So, my next question from you: do you think consciousness is limited to humans?
That what is the same?
Do you think
No,
consciousness is limited to humans?
not at all. I'll give you an example. Dolphins have healed and saved human beings. Same thing with whales. Same thing with elephants. There are beings on other solar systems, not solar systems, planetary systems. In America now, we are starting to expose all the information that the government has on what is called UFOs. They also call them unidentified anomalous phenomenon. That's what they're calling UFOs now, unidentified flying objects. They can go so fast underwater, and of course, they can go, they can disappear just like that above in the air. So this is going to be exposed to Congress and to the American public. It's a law now that within 3 years, this will be done. Brazil actually lets all their information about what their military and anybody else sees about UFOs out to the public. They're not afraid of it. We hide it from Americans. So it's a little bit crazy. There is consciousness in so much, including some people say Gaia, Mother Earth. And it is really alive, though. It has earthquakes, it stretches, and sometimes yeah, there's all kinds of interesting things in life.
Yes, thank you for your answer. So, my next question from you: how can one experience the play of consciousness more fully?
Uh, how can one experience it? The best way is to meditate, because what meditation does is it calms your brain waves, which calm your heart rate, which calms your breathing. But full meditation does it both ways, calms your breathing, calms your heart rate, and then calms your brain waves. And then with, let's say, a vacuum in your mind, you can open to Allah to speak to you. You can open to Allah to give you inspiration. You can open to Allah to be able to guide you in a more beneficial path for not only you, but for others. Because if it isn't good for all, it's not good for anyone. That's what a term called Ubuntu, which is an African term, which means if it's good for you, it's good for me.
Thank you for your answer. So, is consciousness a product of the brain or something more?
It's way beyond the brain. And one of the interesting things is most people don't know is that neurons are very dominant in the heart. Neurons are brain cells. There's also a lot of neurons in your gut. So if there's neurons there, where is your consciousness? It permeates our body. We are not just a physical body. We are a physical body, a mental body, emotional body, and a spiritual body. All four.
Amazing, and thank you for your answer. So, my next question from you: what role does forgiveness play in achieving peace?
Oh boy. Forgiveness is actually experienced easier by the person who forgives. And when you forgive yourself and another person, what happens? There's a unity. The very first gift written in a book called The Four Sacred Gifts by a woman named Anita Sanchez is the gift of forgiving the unforgivable. Imagine being raped by your father. What a horrible, horrible thing. Don't even think of it. It's horrible. Yet, this woman, when she forgave him, it took a long time. She was able to feel a tremendous burden off her back, and she could work better, think better. She was healthier. I just met with a friend of mine. His name is Azim Kamisa. He's Muslim also. Azim Kamisa had his only son shot with a shotgun right in his chest, killed him instantly. And for a number of years, he suffered so much. But when he did finally realize that his son would not like him to suffer, his son was with Allah. So he said, I need to forgive this man. He did. He went so far as to get him out of prison sooner than he should have been released from prison. Then he hired him in his institute that was named after his son to help other people not do the same thing, preventing young people from getting into gangs, from killing people, from doing bad things. He did that because of the ability to forgive. So forgiveness is so, so valuable. Just like the Israel, the the Palestinians could not forgive the people who were the Zionists. They're the ones killing so many Palestinians, the Zionists. Not all Israelis believe in Netanyahu. Not all Israelis want this to happen. Most Israelis don't want it to happen, but they're ruled by a dictator and they're doing horrible things. Imagine if they were able to forgive like Azim Kamisa did or like Anita Sanchez did. It would stop the violence. But what do we see on TV? What movies do most people watch? Oh, the superheroes. Oh, this big guy who's so strong. And what do? They go around killing people, beating them all the time. And they may be the so-called good guys, but all you do is see violence. So what do? If you are beaten by your father, you will more likely beat your children. And if you beat your children, you're just like your father that you didn't like beating you. But he says, "Oh, I'm doing this because I love you." Well, that's how, because he was taught the same thing by his father. But when we switch the pattern, when we stop the pattern, when we break the pattern, then we change. Then we have a better future. Then others can learn from our example. But we are the ones that get to set the example.
Okay, sir, amazing answer, and thank you for your answer. So, my next question from you: how can societies heal from past conflicts and move toward peace?
Well, I would highly suggest that people as a society learn what is called values and virtues. There's three programs that we presented on a big international uh, podcast. And one was called the Living Values Education Program. Within 2 years of its implementation at a refugee camp in Thailand, they had 90% reduction in violence. Imagine that going into the refugee camps in Gaza. What about the camps in Syria? What about the camps in all these countries have refugee camps? When we bring character development, character education, Living Values Education Program is excellent. The Virtues Project is excellent. We change the next generation. So the next generation has better leaders. Why? Because, like the Living Values Education Program, the very first two values that they teach is love, because love brings peace. Those are the two values. Then all the other values, everybody would agree on: respect, responsibility, kindness, helpfulness, things like that. Those are values we honor. So we bring them forth. We start treating each other the way we would like to be treated. It's the golden rule. It's in Islam, it's in Hinduism, it's in Buddhism, it's in all of the religions.
That's amazing, and thank you for your answer. Sir, my next question from you is: peace a natural state that is disrupted, or does it require constant effort to maintain?
Well, peace is a natural state, but it is disrupted sometimes until you get into, in India, they would call it enlightenment stage. It's like Mother Teresa, this little Christian nun, would walk across no man's land in uh, Lebanon when it was having its civil war. She would go to a orphanage to get children out of that war zone. But when she started to walk across that no man's land, there was machine gun fire. But because she kept walking quietly, peacefully, totally focused on knowing Allah would take care of her, she was taken care of. And slowly, other people started to follow, and they all emptied that orphanage out and brought the kids back to safety. So, peace can be disrupted if you are not centered, if you are not focused on a higher power, on the love that is also in the other people. Everybody wants the same thing for their kids. Everybody wants a good life for them: food, shelter, clothing. Why don't we give food, shelter, and clothing to everybody? There's a few rich people in the world that could feed everybody. Just a few of them could feed everybody. Do they? No. They hoard it. They are greedy. Why are they greedy? They never learned that giving makes you feel better. Giving makes you have that inner peace that nobody can steal from you.
Okay, sir, thank you for your answer. My next question is from you: how does the concept of peace differ across cultures and religions?
I don't think the real concept of peace differs. It's worded in different ways, just like the golden rule. In Confucianism, it says, do not do to others what you don't want to have done to you. So that it words it a little differently than saying treat others the way you would like to be treated. So we we all want that simple life for each of us. And peace is peace of mind, peace in the family, peace in the neighborhood, peace in the community, and so on. It doesn't mean just lack of war or violence.
Okay, sir, thank you for your answer. So, sir, lastly, would you like to give the advice with our audience about peacemakers?
Well, I'd like to actually give the gift of the peacemaking meditation. So, if you will, I want you to put your hands or forearms on your lap and lean forward. And with your forearms on your lap, we're going to bend backwards as we breathe in, bringing our hands to our heart, saying, peace in everything, and touch our heart, everything with peace. Let's do this together. Peace in everything, everything with peace. And you can say it in Urdu because you know Urdu. Put peace in everything in Urdu, everything with peace. Peace in everything, everything with peace. This creates muscle memory so that you remember peace in everything because you're touching your heart, you're putting it inside. And then because you have love in your heart, you can say everything with peace. Peace in everything. Everything with peace. That's beautiful. Yes. Peace in everything. Everything with peace. And you see that smile grow on your face? Peace in everything. Everything with peace. Very simple. If you can't rock forward and back because you're not in a position, you can go side to side. Peace in everything. Everything with peace. Peace in everything. Everything with peace. Very simple.
Okay, sir, thank you so much. And thank you for sharing some insightful knowledge about peace. And so, sir, lastly, I invite you my school. When you come in Pakistan, so please visit our school, Rehan School, Kurmi campus.
Well, when I get sponsored there, see, the only way I travel is when people pay for the trip and expenses and everything. And then I give everything that I can during the entire time I'm there. And I have
Okay, sir.
yet, inshallah, I would love to go to Pakistan because I know so much about it. I've worked as a consultant with the SDG Academy of Pakistan. I've done these programs for the Rehan schools. And it's my honor to be able to give what Allah's given to me.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Alaikum assalam.